The Department of Finance has won national recognition for their work on the parish's annual budget for the past 5 years. But have you ever wondered how parish government determines where its tax dollars will be spent? What types of things are budgeted for? And who approves them? Each summer, the Finance Department begins the process for preparing the annual budget for the next year.
In June of each year, we'll send out memos to all the directors requesting what they think they're going to spend for the current year, as well as their requested amount for the following year. And when we're looking at the current year, you have to look at the budget in two phases, because what is spent this year affects how much money you have for the following year, which is why we ask for both of those items. So the directors will go through and make sure that whatever they asked for originally for the current year budget is enough. And if it's not, they need to justify why they need additional funds. Or if they're good with that number, we'll keep that number. Or if in our benefit, they can reduce that number. Sometimes that does happen as well. Once they get those numbers in, then they'll make their request for the 2018 budget.
After, the Finance Department then meets with each of the directors in charge of their departmental budgets. They also meet with each council member to discuss their individual budgets. During these meetings, each line item of each department's budget is addressed.
The primary items that are discussed among, aside from your basic expenses, materials and supplies and such, will be any kind of personnel request they may have. If they do, they have to justify why they need additional people. If there's a specific project coming up or they're expanding a certain area of the department that they want to focus on and they're going to need an additional person, we'll request that justification because it has to be given to the parish president to approve. And also another item we primarily focus on is any kind of capital request they may have. Once we've gotten all the requests in and I've weeded out all the justifications and make sure they were proper, we'll put together a draft of the entire budget, and then I'll go sit with the parish president and the administration and go through the budget line item by line item, usually over a 2 or 3 day process. And the parish president and the admin will make any changes, take anything out that they don't like, or add anything in that they would like to see in there, any kind of projects that we'll put in. And once we've gone through that process, we'll put together the final proposed budget that will be submitted to the council. So that will include the parish president's budget message, which is basically a statement of his spending plan for the year, highlighting any issues or any particular projects that he wants the parish to focus on, the residents to know of, as well as the council. They'll also have some items in there like the parish president's goals for the year, as well as any accomplishments that were done in the prior year. And we have a document that's called Understanding the Budget, which is kind of a history of the budget in itself, an explanation of the entire process, the specific dates when everything needs to be approved, and of course it'll highlight any big projects that we need to address in there that we want the public to know about.
In late October, officials present their department and office budgets to the council in one of 3 publicly televised budget hearings. Budget Hearing A is attended by all of the directors under the parish president, while Budget Hearing B is attended by the other parish agencies who do not fall under the parish president's authority. During these hearings, the council members have the opportunity to question any line item and get clarity on any matter concerning the budgets presented. Usually
when we go through the budget, sometimes you're going through all the different line items and the council will hit on certain items. It might be something materials and supplies. It could be professional services that they want to dig into. Obviously the primary ones would always be personnel. If they see an increase in personnel costs, they obviously want you to justify why you need an additional person or persons. And also any capital items, they'll always question, if they're buying new vehicles, why are we buying new vehicles? Or if we're building a new building, why are we building a new building? We're doing any kind of pump station work or whatever the case may be, they will request additional information.
Budget Hearing C, the final hearing, is where the council votes to amend any of the parish department's budgets and approve the overall parish budget.
After we go through the 3 required budget hearings, the council has to approve the budget. They can approve it at the 3rd and final council meeting or budget hearing, or they can push it to the next council meeting and approve it. But they do have the final say. Now, if they don't approve the budget by the 3rd hearing or the next council meeting, and it's not approved by December 1st of that year, then the original budget as submitted by the parish president will go into effect.
It's important to remember that in 2017, parish government received approximately 25% of the property taxes paid in St. Charles Parish. However, these funds are dispersed among several other community groups, so ultimately the parish administration directly controls only 17.5% of the property taxes in the parish. To access any of the annual budget since 2009, residents may visit stcharlesparish-la.gov/finance. For St. Charles Parish Today, I'm Adrienne Bourgeois.